Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this late in the evening. I know Sundays are not always the best for everyone, so thank you for making time out of your busy schedule to meet here. I've blocked out the agenda, time blocked it, and I'm assuming this meeting is going to take about 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and take roll call real quick. We've got Leanne Frame and Chad Hales. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then walk through the agenda with everyone so we're prepared and everybody understands what it is we need to accomplish and keep us on task. So I'm presenting. Let me know when you can see my agenda.
I got it.
Okay, so I'm going to walk through the agenda items. I'm assuming that's going to take me about 1 minute. I'm going to go through the 10 norms that we agreed on, just again to keep us on task. That should take me about 2 minutes. I'm going to walk through the objectives for this meeting in particular. I think overall that'll take us about 20 minutes, and that includes agreeing on a problem-solving process. That'll take about 3 to 5 minutes. We need to define the problem. That'll take us between 5 to 10 minutes, and we're going to determine possible solutions for the problem. I think that'll take about 15 minutes. Then I'm going to summarize the meeting minutes at the end of the conversation. That'll take me another 5 minutes. And then we'll walk through the assignment for next steps and timelines we want to stick to. So the first agenda item is the 10 norms. And again, we had agreed on these in the past, and I just want to reiterate them to keep us on task. So we're going to always make and stick to an agenda. I've done that. We're going to set clear objectives, and I've added those up top. I've already walked through those. We're going to follow our established ground rules as well, and we agreed that we were going to be on time and prepared. We're not going to multitask. We're going to stay on task. We're going to complete required deliverables on time, and we're all going to participate. And we're going to be respectful and considerate to others, to each other. We're going to be accountable. We're going to have fun and celebrate our successes, which I think we did a good job this week, by the way. And we're going to make our decisions by consensus, so having some healthy dialogue and conversation. We're going to professionally challenge ideas and thoughts. And we're going to be willing to step out of our comfort zone. And we will end the meeting with clear next steps and, again, timelines. Anybody have any questions about the norms?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So the objectives I have laid out are we're going to agree on a problem-solving process. And this is, I guess this is the first step. So we can go ahead and just dig right into that. I don't know if you all read through all of the resources, but I'm going to throw it out there. I feel comfortable with the 7-step process in particular. But you know, I'll open it up out there. I think that was clearly defined and will help us like drive through what the problems are, and then each step of the way to make sure that we're talking about the problem in detail and then solutioning. So does anybody have any feedback on that, on which process they want to use?
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Leanne.
Okay, so yeah, I read through the material, and I was thinking more of the prescriptive approach, you know, the rational problem-solving model where you recognize a problem, define it, generate, you know, solutions or alternate solutions, select solution, and then implement it, and then, you know, evaluate the outcome.
Okay.
I'm not, if you can refresh my mind on what the 7 steps were.
Sure. I'll just add that the 7 step, because I was with you as well, Leanne, that was one I was looking at. But then when I saw the 7 steps, I mean, it's pretty close to the same. It's talking about, you know, making sure that you're clearly looking at the problem, you're, you know, coming up with some, you know, possible outcomes and what are the key drivers. And then, you know, at the latter stages there, ultimately you have the solutions. So I don't know if we lost Bobby.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
For 1 second to see if she's able to get back on with us.
Yeah, she might.
Let me see if there's a way I can re-invite her, since I know this was hers. Let's see. Let's Leanne, are you able to see where we can re-invite?
Looking, I'm not seeing it. Might be because it's her session.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me try something here.
Yeah, I think since she's the moderator, she has full control.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to just step away for 1 quick second, Leanne.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, there you
Yeah,
are.
we're still recording, so I apologize.
That's
okay.
okay.
Go ahead, Chad, you were talking.
Yeah, so we were starting to talk about the 7 steps. I don't know if you have those, the 7-step process, which was pretty.
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. I do have my notes, so you don't have to tell me all the 7 steps. I just found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with using that approach?
And yeah, because it's pretty similar to the prescriptive.
Yep. That's what I thought as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that if you both feel that's, a good one.
Okay, yeah, I just liked how it blocked it out and said, okay, did you cover this? Did you cover this? I mean, so as we walk through the problems, I think if we just ask ourselves those questions, we won't have to go through the last 3. I think it's just the first 4 we really need to cover on this call. So just
Okay.
FYI. Okay. All right, so I think if we identify, the first step in the 7 steps is to identify the problem, right? That's the first thing that's out there. So I think we've got from Carrie and Fred, they bullet pointed out what the problems are. Chad or Leanne, do you want to go ahead and walk through that list from them so we can clearly identify that? And I'll take meeting minutes here as we go.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and just read it off, just, straight out of the material. So Carrie's observations. So there's currently not enough seating for the number of patrons. The building is consistently at capacity between the hours of 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., and then again between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. The atmosphere of Drip and Dry is now loud and chaotic when it once was quiet. Faithful customers have said that they're concerned about what Drip and Dry is turning into. Many of the customers are struggling to find parking spaces, though many customers still do walk. People who order food at Drip and Dry's often neglect to pick up their finished laundry in a timely fashion. Drip and Dry is not achieving maximum potential revenue as it is so often at capacity. And the line for ordering food and drinks is extremely long during those peak hours that I just referenced. So some of the constraints: we must not radically deviate from the original business plan and mission for Drip and Dry. We can dedicate about 2 months revenue, so estimating about $38,000 in resources and revenue towards addressing the problem. We need to appeal to a wide range of customers, both old and new. And we need to maintain a comfortable and relaxing atmosphere. I think that keeps with the original business plan and mission anyway. Other considerations: wireless internet is offered to all patrons for free. Results of our customer poll: 1/8 of the customers say that if Drip and Dry looks busy, they choose not to enter. And people who purchase 1 beverage per day on average stay for about 20 minutes. But people who stay longer than 3 hours typically purchase 1 beverage as well. Approximately 1/3 of the available seating is being occupied by customers who stay longer than 3 hours, and 3/4 of the customers learned about Drip and Dry this month. 1/2 of the customers learned about Drip and Dry from the month's news segment.
What was that last thing you said? The month's news?
So they gave two different statistics about like the customers. So 3/4 of the customers learned about Drip and Dry just in the current month, and then 1/2 of the customers that were polled learned about Drip and Dry from the month's news segment.
Month's news. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So the first step in the 7 steps is identifying the problem and then understanding the root cause, right? So I think that it's 2 things. It's either a lack of a streamlined process or lack of capacity or space during peak hours. That's my input.
I believe one of the other issues, root causes, because it came up constantly here, was the loiterers, I guess, the people that are just coming in, they're only getting 1 beverage and they're kicking around for 3+ hours. So I think that's one of the root causes as well, is, these people that are coming in for long periods of time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think the main goal of their business is to achieve maximum potential revenue. I think that is first and foremost. Whatever they do, I think they need to be conscious of their bottom line. With the observations that Carrie has mentioned, I think if we can come up with a viable solution, they can hit their potential revenue. So that not achieving their maximum potential revenue, I think, is the foremost concern.
Okay. So okay. So right now, so you think that the root cause is that you've got, or a large majority of the peak volume is folks that are coming in, taking advantage of the free Wi-Fi, only ordering 1 drink. So, they talk about the lines are really long. So if they're only ordering 1 drink, they're really not contributing to that, right?
Right.
I mean, coming in and taking up space. So they're taking up a parking spot and they're taking up a chair, which is a big problem. I mean,
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, they'll be in the line probably the first time, so they will be participating in the line. But yeah, they're not. It's not a common problem for them to, continue to get up and stay in line, making it longer. So
okay. So and what I want to do is I want to get to the root cause, right? I want to document that so that we can solution for that specifically. Mm-hmm. So we feel that it's folks that are coming in, and I want to make sure everybody agrees. So Chad, this is what I heard you say. You've got people that are coming in, taking advantage of the free Wi-Fi. They're staying for an extensive amount of time, and they're only ordering 1 drink.
Correct. Yes.
That's what we want to try to solve for. That's the root cause. Okay. And Leanne, do you agree with that? Is there anything to add, or
yes, I agree. I agree that the amount of time spent there doesn't equal their potential of earning.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So the root cause. All right. So we've got that. All right, so now we can move on to solutions. Okay, is there anything in that first block of the 7 steps that I missed, or that we missed, before we can move on to solutioning? Because I know one of the problems is moving too quickly to solutioning. So there were 3 or 4 bullet points in there. Do you have that doc handy where you can look at the everything in the first step quickly? Chad, no?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
Okay. All right, I thought you had the doc handy.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know that I printed that off.
Yeah, you did. I just don't know. I don't have it in front of me, so I think we're good. We can move on. Okay, so solutioning. So now we need to try to figure out how you don't want to keep customers away, right? That's not the goal here. So how do we encourage people to buy more than 1 drink, or how do we make more space for those people that are coming in? I think that's what we need to walk through next, is solutioning for that particular issue.
So I was thinking, and again, I know that we don't, we're doing a lot of this without fully understanding all of, the constraints. But one that I was thinking of that might work is, maybe there is a way that every hour, every 2 hours, there is a new Wi-Fi password, and people are expected to have a minimum purchase in order to get that password. So, you kind of keep, hey, you're more than welcome to sit around and take up a seat and, and do your laundry, whatever else. But, we do need an extra, $5 purchase from, the coffee bar.
Okay, so resetting the password every 2 hours kind of encourage them to come up to the front to get the password. And so you're talking about also establishing a drink minimum as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So how would that work for, so say you come in at 3 o'clock, you order one drink and they're there till 5, that password expires at 5. So the person that walks in at 4:45, how does that password work for that person?
Yeah, so I mean, it would, and that's definitely one thing we should think about, because that could be a negative customer experience. That would be fine. They could get the password and use it for 15 minutes, and then they would need to get another, the newer password.
Uh-huh.
But I think that it'll be one of those things, I've seen this done before, you have it on, just a piece of paper that's printed off, and you can hand them out. If you're not seeing constant abusers, it's literally, you're just handing them out just, as needed. But if you find that somebody is sitting around and not, and not purchasing more, hey, I am going to need you to make another purchase, in order to give you this newer password.
Yeah, one of the things that I thought of that would probably play nicely into this, I don't know that you need to set the minimum, but sort of like a recognition that, hey, you've been sitting here for quite a while and we need you to purchase something. So right now, I believe the way Drip and Dry is set up is they have to go to the counter to get a new coffee drink. If we hired or were able to hire a couple of people that were actually out rotating throughout the store, asking, taking drink orders, also picking up the trash, pre-busing, I know that was one of the issues that they had, and that could be taken care of if they actually hired people to go out and take orders, encourage them, and then they could pass out the passwords at that time too.
Yeah. Or we could go a little bit more, informal, and it's just it's posters that are up on the wall that say, it's expected that if you are, in a seat for an hour or more, that you are making adequate purchases, to take up that seating that could be used for other people. So again, I was just thinking that we'd like to have a way to actually hold people accountable and a way to kind of cut them off. I'm just not sure exactly how else we could do it without using the Wi-Fi itself as kind of the driver.
Yeah, that was one of my suggestions, post polite or humorous signs asking customers to be considerate of the time that they're spending there and, the space that they're occupying. Another idea I had was to have, 1 or 2 employees go around the tables and offer them, hey, can I get you another drink, or can I get you some food, or, some kind of a reminder that there's food to be bought, or, laundry to be done. Another idea was to leave attractive tent menus on the table to get their attention, and maybe they'll go, hey, look, they've got a special at this time. Maybe I should go get something. Another idea was, how Cinnabon pipes that smell through the malls, kind of do that in the seating area where that's like smell of food or smell of coffee is really dominant and not more of the laundromat smell, and have them, kind of be reminded all the time that there's things that they could buy or to eat. And then the last one I thought about was like a rewards program where, buy 5, get 1 free kind of thing, where they're more tempted to buy more things because of a reward. It could be another kind, whatever rewards. It could be like if you buy, if you buy a drink, you get another hour of free Wi-Fi. That could have been, that could be a a program that they could implement.
I also thought about zones. I didn't know, again, without knowing the full capacity, but, like certain zones where, we definitely want to have, like more turnover, and in those zones, the seats are, 30 minutes, versus more the long term, maybe they're more of the standing bar areas. And, if people want to, to spend more time, they're welcome to do that, but it's in a different part where, it's maybe not impacting lines. So that was another way that I thought we could maybe force a little bit quicker turnover in certain seating capacities.
Yeah, I mean, especially because if they're doing their laundry, you don't want to discourage people and force them to buy a drink if they're actually spending money over there. So maybe the longer term zoning is actually in the laundry section where, it's not in the barista area where it's a little bit nicer, but maybe where the people are taking up some space. So I like all of those ideas. One other thing I thought about, and this is where I don't know if we have enough information, but do Carrie and Fred, are they willing to expand any space at all? Is there any opportunity for that? And if not, I think we would want to go in and look at the type of seating they have. Do they have high top bars that have 3 or 4 chairs where really only 1 chair is necessary? Do they have that long bar that's maybe facing outwards where 1 person can sit? Can we get more people, more space in there, more seating actually in the space we have? But that's something where we'll want to ask Carrie and Fred, if we can evaluate that, or if they're willing to spend some money on furniture or expand the space itself. So, okay, lots of good ideas. And I think all of these I'm going to put in the memo. I don't think there's any bad ideas here. So I think we need to throw them all out there. Anything to add before I walk back through all of them?
No, I mean, we do get to spend, recommend spending upwards of the 38,000. So, I really think that, maybe part-timers, during that, those blocks of time, coming in, younger kids, whatever, that can help clean up a little bit, that can do, Leanne, to your point, walk around and, hey, can I get you another drink? Happy to bring it over to you. And then also can kind of, make people more conscious of the, the internal requirements for not sitting in, certain places for long periods of time.
Okay. All right. So part-timers for the serving. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through our solutions then. And again, I don't think that we need to come to a consensus on any one, because I'm going to type them all up in the proposal to Carrie and Fred. That was the direction we were given. Okay. So the first solution is, every 2 hours, we want to reset the password, have it reset automatically. This prompts the customer to come up to the counter and order more, beverages or whatnot. We also want to set a drink minimum, and this is really bringing awareness. I think as a rule, we sort of feel like we don't necessarily want to make it a rule, but maybe post some signs, and to Leanne's point, humorous, gentle reminders, and just really bring awareness to that. We also want to implement some waitress services outside of just the counter. So this would be, potentially in part-time hires that we would leverage during those peak time frames as well. So extend the service. They would also be involved in pre-busing to keep the place a little bit cleaner. We want, so some tent menus on the tables to make them aware, all the customers aware of what options are out there. And piping in some smells to encourage food purchases in the area that is pretty much soap and laundry at this point. And then implementing a rewards program to encourage multiple purchases in one visit. And then implement some zones and seating time limits. And then we want to evaluate the seating setup today and see if we can maybe condense that. So those are our solutions that we'll type up in our memo to Carrie and Fred. Anything additional to add?
I don't have any more.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I like all our suggestions.
Yeah, I think they're good for the root cause we identified. Okay, so let me take a peek at my agenda Make sure we are on task here. Okay, brainstorming potential solutions. Aim to propose at least 3 potential. Okay, we got way more than 3. Good for us. We're going to do the memo to Carrie and Fred. That is, I'm not going to read through this because that's a takeaway that we've got. In summary, did we meet the objectives? I feel like we did. I feel like we got the root cause. We all agreed on the root cause, and then we proposed multiple solutions. And now we need to walk through our next steps and timelines to get this assignment done and proposal to Carrie and Fred. So what I was thinking is I would start to type up the memo, since I'm the facilitator, from the meeting minutes, throw that out there to everyone. Leanne, you and Chad can take a look at that, add any kind of color. I'll start like a kind of a rough draft. So, I'll make it as complete as I can. I was thinking I could probably have that done Tuesday night, if that works for everybody. And then if you guys can take a look at that, I might get it done sooner, right? But I just want to make sure I've got enough time. And then if you guys can look at that, I know you're probably busy on Wednesday, so maybe if we've got a rough draft to be submitted by Thursday night or Friday, might be too long for you guys, but that's kind of the timeline I'm working with in my head.
Yeah, that sounds good. I can work with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will, again, I got stretch goals in my head. I'm hoping I can get something out tomorrow, but no later than Tuesday evening, I'll get the memo out. Then all of us have the takeaways, our emails that we need to type up separately and submit on our own. And do you want me to send you all the link to this meeting so you can reference to it to write those memos up?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So that's my other takeaway. I will do that as soon as the meeting's over and the link is there and available. I'll just send it out to email to everybody.
Okay.
Okay. So if we shoot for by Friday evening, we've got everything submitted. Everybody will be satisfied with that. And again, if we do it sooner, good for us. But if it's Friday, everybody feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, and is it part of that commitment also, we're saying that we'll have our 2 emails ready to go for our individual portions as well, right?
That's what I'm committing to by Friday.
Okay.
Okay. You got enough time this week, Leanne, to do that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So we've got that. And then when do we want to tentatively pencil in our next meeting, assuming everything goes well with the assignment? And Leanne, you would be the facilitator for that. So let us know what you feel comfortable with.
Okay. I am out of town on the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Okay.
So, what's today, the 3rd? How about Tuesday night? Are you available for, wait, is that too soon? Wait,
We're talking about like, not this coming Tuesday, right? But
no, right. It would be like the 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, tentative, we can pencil it in if you need to change it for any reason, but I can do Tuesday the 11th.
Okay.
We'll
Let's shoot for 11th for our next meeting.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for your participation. Good conversation. And we will have this up to Carrie and Fred by the end of the week. And
Great.
thank you for your time.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good meeting. Thank you.